Definitive Healthcare offers healthcare commercial intelligence solutions for 5 primary use cases: go-to-market strategy and planning, product development, sales intelligence and optimization, corporate development, and market intelligence. We'll focus on 3 of these use cases in the following scenarios. Demo 1. Go-to-market planning, medical device. Let's say you're a sales manager at a medical device company selling a new device that reduces inflammation and readmissions after knee or hip replacement surgeries. Definitive Healthcare can help you identify the potential market for the product, doctors to prescribe it, and where those providers work. To get started on the Definitive Healthcare platform, you can select physicians across the country who are performing the most knee and hip replacements. Enter the CPT codes for knee replacements and hip replacements. For claim year 2020, the Claims Analytics view shows those procedures performed by different provider types. To gain deeper insight, select Physicians to get a list of every physician in the country who did knee or hip replacement, sorted by different categories, their location, number of procedures, or other options. While individual physician volume is incredibly powerful knowledge, it's even more valuable to know who is controlling the decision. What physician group are they part of, and what health systems do they roll up to? For example, we offer high-quality affiliations data, so to find out which providers and facilities truly control the procedure volume, you can add primary or secondary hospital affiliation, network affiliation, or even parent network. At this point, you could export the data to Microsoft Excel for further offline analysis or to merge with your own data. However, if you wanted to be even more targeted in your sales and marketing, you could search for hospitals with higher readmission rates. When combined with the knee replacement volume, this intelligence gives you the ideal prospects for your new drug. With this fine-tuned list of the optimal targets, you can find essential executives such as the operating room director, the chief medical officer, or the chief medical information officer. From the executives page, you can access the email address or a direct phone number, even LinkedIn profiles. Armed with the latest data-driven intelligence about your customers and the broader market, you can now build a targeted sales and marketing plan that enables you to maximize the time and efforts of your commercial team. Demo 2. Product development and go-to-market in biopharma. Let's say there's a research-stage biopharma company developing a new breast cancer drug. The company can use Definitive Healthcare to build a full commercial plan, including territory development, individual physician targeting, and identification of experts who could influence the market to make their therapy the standard of care. Once in the Definitive Healthcare platform, first you want to identify the physicians who wrote prescriptions for drugs similar to the one you're developing. Using the drug market analytics, you can see which providers most frequently prescribed similar breast cancer drugs in 2020. The search results give you a list of 47,000 physicians, automatically sorted by number of prescriptions filled. If you want to do territory planning for California, you can narrow the search down to about 3,000 physicians, and then sort by city so you can assign reps for a geographic sales plan. Your new drug is most likely to be prescribed by a doctor whose primary specialty is internal medicine. This doctor practices internal medicine and wrote 37 prescriptions last year for breast cancer drugs, thus making him an attractive candidate. In his physician profile, you can get contact info, practice locations, specialties, and more. Part of what makes Definitive Healthcare so powerful is the actionable intelligence it provides. For example, this doctor has a high prescription activity level, meaning he writes more prescriptions than his peers, and a high propensity to prescribe brand name drugs. As a company interested in marketing a new drug, these attributes make this doctor very attractive. You can also see that the majority of his claims are paid by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Payer-provider relationships are key, because if you end up on Blue Cross's approved drug list, then this doctor becomes an even more valuable lead. You can dig even deeper into the data by checking his claim volume to see how many patients he treated for breast cancer. Once you know that this doctor's attributes match your target profile, you can easily find similar physicians for your sales reps to contact. With Definitive Healthcare, you can get real-time, detailed insights about physicians and how they practice, so that you can build effective marketing plans and then optimize the use of your sales force. The third use case focuses on another segment that Definitive Healthcare covers: any company that wants to sell into the healthcare market. Let's say a CPG company makes industrial cleaning supplies for a hospital, like a disinfectant to reduce hospital-borne infections. Our platform can be used for supply chain planning, go-to-market planning, and sales account strategy. Let's start with a strategy for selling your disinfectant to the Mass General Brigham Health System. To find the system profile, you start with the predictive search bar. Once you get to the Mass Gen profile page, a lot of important info is available. First, take a quick note of the Definitive ID, the unique identifier that we assign to every player in the healthcare ecosystem. The Definitive ID makes it easy to understand the relationships, affiliations, and referral patterns between the various players in healthcare. Then, you can dig into the data for this project. Starting with the big picture, you can see the system as a whole. There are 3,352 beds, and they discharge over 150,000 patients per year. Details like bed data and discharges can help inform your targeting approach and pricing strategy. You can also see how the entire system is organized by looking at the affiliated facilities: 16 hospitals, 13 ambulatory surgery centers, and more. This allows a holistic view of how your product could be offered system-wide. Now, you can dive even deeper into the platform to sharpen your approach. For example, you can pick one of the hospitals in the MassGen system to see how it's performing. MassGen Hospital has the most beds, so it could be a valuable potential sales target. But would they need your disinfectant product? To answer questions like that, Definitive Healthcare provides relevant financial, clinical, and network metrics through the Definitive dashboards. In this case, you want to look more deeply into their quality metrics. Since you're selling a disinfectant, you want to look at complications caused by hospital-acquired infections. You can see a variety of healthcare-associated infection measures, and looking at the percentile rank, there is certainly area for improvement, even though it's a 5-star hospital. This type of information can prove the value and the ROI of a product. In addition to selling the system on why your disinfectant will keep their patients healthy, you also need to influence the group purchasing organization, or GPO, who is affiliated with the healthcare system. You can see that MassGen uses Vizient as its primary GPO. You can learn more about Vizient by clicking on its profile, or you can go back to the MassGen profile to see who you need to speak with at the hospital to close the deal. For example, in the purchasing department, you can see the Director of Materials Management, and his email address and LinkedIn profile are right there. With Definitive Healthcare, you can get in-depth insight about all aspects of a healthcare system operations, from clinical to financial. With this commercial intelligence, you can develop more effective strategic plans to grow your business. Definitive Healthcare helps companies understand, navigate, sell into, and compete in the complex healthcare ecosystem. Create new paths to commercial success with healthcare commercial intelligence. Discover opportunity with Definitive Healthcare.